of expenses on my head. And because of that, what many times people do, let's say it's a barber shop or it's a pharmacy or whatever it is, he let the business continue run on Shabbat, but he's just not there. Now, Halakha says that you're not allowed to tell a goy to do something for you on Shabbat, even if the goy is doing it on his own. Let's say go right now, wants to came and he said, fix your shoes. He says your shoes are not good. He came and he fixed the shoes himself. He didn't say one word to me. Are you allowed to wear those shoes on Shabbat or no? He fixed those shoes on Shabbat. Do you know on Shabbat, Mulakando, we have two levels of halakha. One is called asking the goy to do something for you. Second one, if I didn't ask, but I want to benefit from whatever the goy is going to do. Am I allowed to benefit from whatever the goy did? I didn't ask him one word.
No.
Am I allowed to benefit from it or no? Says halakha, asking the goy it's asur, and benefiting from the goy it's also. There's two prohibited. Two things that are prohibited: asking him and benefiting him from him. Says halakha, we are ready for shakol or you coming? Okay. Says halakha, what happens when a person right now letting the goyim run the barbershop? Letting the goyim run the pharmacy? Whatever their optical store, law office store, the office, whatever it is, different things. So says halakha, we are going to read, and I'm making a disclosure that this halakha pertains only to people that they are in the beginning stage. Means to say they're not able to sacrifice and go through that such a big test of closing their place on Shabbat. It's not a leniency for the people that Baruch Hashem already have it closed, and now they say, Rabbi, teach me how to keep it open. Understand? It should not be opposite than whatever we're trying to get. So we're reading the book of Rav David Yosef. I put a copy of it. If you want, I can post it on our group. So whoever can read inside will be able to read inside. May Hashem Nishmat Adam. Know what the pasuk says about the word Ner Hashem? Ner Hashem Nishmat Adam. Okay, so this file is in our group. Whoever is interested can look inside. Ready for Shakol? Oh, it didn't come yet? Okay, we are going to read Siman Resh Mem Vav, Halakha Lamed Vav. Says Rav David quickly, Yehudi sheyesh lo bet haroshet, a person that has a factory, bet haroshet, or chanuyot, or he has a store. ורוצה להפעיל את עסקיו גם בשבת. He wants to keep the business run also on שבת. by גויים. ועל ידי שימכור העסקים במכירה גמורה לגויים, הוא עסק שהוא מסגור אותו בשבת, יבוא לידי הפסד מרובה. says הלכה, it depends, what's the reason you want to keep it open on שבת. ברשות מוריי ורבותיי, ברוך אתה אדוני, אלוהינו מלך העולם, שהכל נהיה בדברו.
Amen.
So it says, Rav David, it all depends. What's the reason you want to keep it on Shabbat? It says if you have a big financial loss. Now I explained to you last time, if you remember, that there is a difference between Meir benefiting profit, losing of profit, or losing of principle. Losing of profit is, Rabbi, I have a good client right now. I can sell this piece for $10,000. Can you sell that piece after Chol HaMoed? Whenever it's not prohibited time to work? Yeah, but then I'm going to have to sell it for $8,000. Because right now it's the time people are, or right now I find one fryer to pay me $10,000 for that. After the holiday, I'll sell it for $8,000. Listen, are you losing from principle? No, my investment in is $5,000. So usually I would sell it for $8,000. But now I find a fryer for 10. Can I sell it to him Chol HaMoed for 10? Or I have to wait for after Chol HaMoed and sell it for 8? What's halakha?
No, wait. Only
You have to wait after Chol HaMoed.
Yeah.
Why? Because you're not losing principle. But what if a person says, Rabbi, I bought that piece for $10,000. This is my cost. If right now I'm not going to sell to this guy for $10,000, after the holiday I'll have to end up selling it for $8,000. Can I sell right now to this guy on Chol HaMoed or no? What will be the halacha? Yes, because here you are losing or risking of losing principal. So, if right now a person says, Rabbi, by keeping the store open, by me not keeping the store open, I'm going to lose profit. Is that leniency applies to that guy or no? What are we about to speak? No? Let's say the guy, Baruch Hashem, inherited the store from his father. Or he bought the building a long time ago. It was a crazy cheap price. He bought it all cash in Akol B'Sei Nimar. That guy has no loss by opening the store or closing the store. Whatever he makes, it's income. There is no overhead for him. That guy will be allowed to keep that store open through a goy, selling it to a goy on Shabbat or no? No. You have no any financial loss. You have no any overhead that you losing from your pocket for that business. However, if a person says halacha has said me'ubeh, he will have an overhead that he's going to lose by keeping the business closed. For him, there is a way out, especially if he's a beginner.
Вопрос. Вот здесь армию будем делать или мне через 15 минут идти?
Будем.
10 человек будет здесь, поднимите руку.
Еще будет еще больше. Okay? Such as, it says, if a person will close that business on Shabbat, he's going to lose principal. Such as, he has, Yakubo, the paper production industry, factories, cannot stop their machinery any day. It has to be operated, Shabbat, Kippur, Rosh Hashanah, any time of the year. 365 days of the year, it must be operated. If you stop paper production, it's stuck. All the paper stuck to the machines. The amount of time and money you're gonna have to invest to clean the machines after, it doesn't financially make sense to stop it. It's easier to make the machinery continue run and pay for the electricity for whatever it takes to continue running it, because otherwise the loss is much more. So now, what if a person in Israel, they have such a place, a paper factory, machine, they're all operated. Can that place be operated on Shabbat, Kippur, Rosh Hashanah? Can they be done or no? Now, whenever it's operated, it's not operated automatically. There's somebody has to watch over, make sure all the production goes through, papers are cut the right way, formulas are mixed the right way, etc. All the details. Can I have a Jewish person managing that place on Shabbat or no? Jewish? No. What about Goyish? I'm going to call Abdallah or Muhammad, and he's going to do the job on Shabbat over there in Israel or in America, doesn't matter. Jewish-owned property, business, will be operated by a Goy. Am I allowed to have the Goy run it, manage it for me or no? Says Halacha, no. What do you mean no? There's a financial loss if he's going to stop it. It's all Sunday is going to be all sticky picky. Why is this prohibited? Because the premises still belongs to you. You're not allowed to tell a Goy, paint my walls on Shabbat. You're not allowed to tell the Goy, fix my car on Shabbat. So too, you're not allowed to, even if the Goy fixed or paint by himself. He didn't tell him one word. Zazachai is still not allowed to. So over here, I didn't tell him one word. He came out to work on Shabbat. Who is the place belong to? To you. So who is the Goy working on Shabbat for?
You.
For the Jew. So this, even if you have a big financial loss, what can you do? Shabbat is taking over financial loss. You have to close that place on Shabbat. What am I going to do Sunday? Sunday you're going to have to take out all the sticky paper. What can we do? However, says Halakha, that's a problem only when, Zajora? Whenever the premises belongs to you. But whenever you sold the premises to The goy. So now the goy works for himself. The place belongs right now to the goy. Nothing to do with him. He wants to keep it open. He wants to close it, up to him. So now you have to make a proper acquisition, kinyan. Says halacha, not everything that you guys agreed on, that it's sold, it means sold. Simple example is, if right now, Meir and me are buyer and seller of a house. Meir sells me a house. I come and I shake Meir's hands, I say, Meir, sold? Sold. Shakes my hand. Property is mine now or no? No. What if I say, Meir, give me the title. I want to see the title. I see the title. I say, Meir, you mind if I sign my name here? Sign it. I signed it. I didn't give him $1 million yet. Property is mine?
No.
Huh?
You didn't give the money.
I didn't give the money. But the title is signed under my name now.
The seller need to sign too.
He signed it.
According to
We both signed it.
yeah, it's yours.
American law, is this mine or no?
Yes.
Yeah. But what about the money? Go find me right now. What if the other way around? I gave him the money, he never gave me the title. I gave him $1 million cash deal. I gave him $1 million chimadan. He never gave me the title. American law, is the house belongs to me? No. So what do we see? That not everything you guys thinking that it's acquired, it's yours. You paid for it. But where is the paper? Where is the title? When is sale valid in American law? Whenever both parties sold on or signed on the title, that buyer, Mr. So-and-so, sold it to Mr. So-and-so. Until that signature is not there, what does that property belong to? The original owner. So we see that not everything you guys, this is Bechor in continuation of whatever you asked me yesterday. You went to Yerushalayim, the guy gave him 10 shekels, sold, mold, etc. Says halacha, not valid. Not every kinyan that you will think that it works as a kinyan, на русском, как можно сказать? Бехор. Acquisition, Moshe, приобретение.
Он ему за доллар продал, Шаббат вышел, он его за доллар купил.
А кто сказал, что доллар с гоимом работает?
Работает.
Но это под вопросом. Do you know, whenever it comes to selling of Hametz, Pesach было, правильно? We all signed our names on the power of attorney to the rabbi to go to the Bedin for us. You did not sell the Hametz to the rabbi, and you did not have that rabbi sell the Hametz for the Goy. The only thing that you signed your power of attorney, saying that this rabbi will be my shaliach to go to the Bedin, that the Bedin will end up selling it to the Goy. Now in the Bedin, it's not a Goy Suda, Muhammad, here's $1, all the papers over here belongs to you. No. It's almost 1 hour discussion back and forth with the Goy. Give us money deposit, money down on every paper. We're gonna use it to rent you the basement. That all the papers are over there. Kinyan agav, kinyan hatzer, kinyan meshicha, kinyan metalteli, kinyan halifin, the kinyan money, kinyan signature, kinyan shaking hands. There is 9 kinyanim that the Bedin has to go to the Goy in order to make sure that all kinyanim possible in halakha are covered.
No safek.
Why? Because every one of those opinions say that the other opinion is wrong. Imagine if we would have the same amount of tefillins on the head. Why? We barely managed with 2. Imagine if it's going to be 9 opinions on the head.
What created with such a head?
Yeah.
If we need to put 9.
So the acquisition, the приобретение, that you guys think that if I gave him $1 to the Goy, I sold him my business, it's not necessarily true. So a person has to know what are the laws, how do you make the kinyanim. Now I don't expect you to become Bedin right now. Bedin overnight. Crash course Bedin. So we're expecting you to know that there is such a service that Bedin gives, and if you want you can do through me, if you want you can do through a different person, whoever you know that is knowledgeable in this field. I tell all the time to people, in the people, the general public, don't pay difference between different rabbis. They think rabbi, he has a black jacket, he has a black hat.
Rabbi.
Rabbi. He goes to the Yeshuologist, I'm telling you, and some Yeshuologists is brazen enough. You know what Yeshuologist is? You know what it is? It's the best profession in America. It's Yeshuologist. He goes to every night, by 1, by 2 Yeshuo. Here's 250, here's 300. Every night.
To do what?
Talk.
To talk.
Almost, yeah.
To talk. Question, who listens? But to talk. לחיים בוחיים, fish, ערך, מים אחרונים, означает приготовь деньги. Now this person comes, I'm telling you, these people sometimes cause such a problems in halakha. They marry people that they're not allowed to marry. Jude budeku. Yeah, Jude, but he's Kohen, he's divorced, this is halakha. There's so many laws, they don't know. The Jewish and Jewish, that's it. Yeah, Edim. Was one guy was making people dance together, boys and girls dance together. That Yeshuologist took this person as one of his witnesses. Why? Because Shomer Shabbat. Yeah, but we have 613 mitzvot. Shabbat is one of them. What about the 612, the rest? This Shomer Shabbat. A person have to know all these laws. Now, when a person has the situation, he has to go and ask the rabbi that knows this field. Rabbi, I need to sell my business to the goy. How do I do it? Please help me out. What's your service fee? Whatever it takes, let's get it done. Many people that they start keeping Shomer Shabbat, Baruch Hashem, they stop working on Shabbat personally, but their business is still running on Shabbat. If the business is running on Shabbat, what is that called? This person Shomer Shabbat or Mechalel Shabbat? Mechalel Shabbat. This person 100% Mechalel Shabbat. In a much lower level, then he would go himself, but he's still Mechalel Shabbat. So it's obviously better that a person comes, stops working himself in person, but in Shamayim he's still titled for Mechalel Shabbat. So how do we bypass that problem? So says Rav David, there are certain businesses that you're not able to stop it. For example, I told you the paper production. Or a person that has security company. He has to make sure that there's somebody that watches the camera, somebody that is there for the phone, for whatever it is. Even there's no pikuach nefesh. It's just security. How does he make that business continue run on Shabbat? So says Rav David, Sikum dvarim be'al peh, afilu b'fnei edim. If I tell to our friend over here, Goy, let's say his name is Johnny Smith. I say, Johnny Smith, me and you agreed on that you're going to be the owner of the business on Shabbat. And I tell him all the terms, all the details. And Meir and Amir are going to be my two witnesses. We shook hands, we text message each other, all the terms, all the prices, akol. Is that valid sale or no? Says halakha no. Even if you put it on the contract, you went through a lawyer contract. Oh, so that's what we have to make sure, that a person does not do it himself. This Bechor John, in continuation of your question yesterday, Yaim Mujesi dollar of dal, shekeli dal, John Halos. Tell him, it's just shekeli, machatzita shekel, and so chalifatit, and morati kaparatis. Delay, tzedakah bros.
Вот Рав, весь профит, который он делает, этот хар забирает себе.
That's a big loss for the Jew. Sometimes all the business is Shabbat business. The whole week doesn't make the place a lot of money. Shabbat is the time. So it says, Rabbi, the only reason I keep that business is for Shabbat. If I'm going to give all the profit to the goy, what I could lose the business. No point for me. I'm not going to be able to pay mortgage in Jamaica State, neither the tuition for the yeshivas. Как я буду жить? So says halakha, there is a more profitable way out. Soon we're going to talk about what? וכן, אם יש לגוי עסק בשותפות עם הגוי. A person, from the beginning, he באמת made a partnership with a goy. Meir comes to Antonio from Italy. He's a goy. And Antonio and Meir decided to open a barbershop on 5th Avenue. באמת, partnership, באמת. Now Meir became, Baruch Hashem, Shomer Shabbat. Okay, Meir comes to Antonio and says, Antonio, I have a religious, I'm Jewish, I want to not work on Shabbat anymore. Now, can Antonio continue work on Shabbat or he has to close the shop?
Yes.
Huh?
Continue.
Harry, what do you say?
Yes.
Can you open the shop or no?
He takes the profit and he continues.
But Meir benefits from it.
How?
The place belongs to Meir and to Antonio.
He has to
Antonio
sell-
takes a
he
profit
has to
from
sell his
Shabbat.
part.
Antonio takes the profit,
From the Shabbat.
but the Shabbat profit is all the business.
Only if they agree from the beginning, but here they're partners on it.
Meir says, Habibi, I no point for me to keep that business with you. If I'm not going to make profit on the Shabbat, what's the point of this business?
He takes profit of the other day.
Oh, what if the other day
Sunday
doesn't make up
profit-
for that profit?
So give me the
Shabbat
Sunday
is
profit.
$10,000 income, other days is $1,000 income.
So give me two
Tell me, Dylan.
Sunday, Monday is mine, Shabbat is yours. The rest.
All week you're going to work, you're not going to make that one Shabbat week. One day of Shabbat. Joy Mujelet?
Nasıl faş kuruyor abi?
We reduce the rent from.
That's not how you make business. Right? A person says, we put 50-50 in. He put 300,000 in, I put 300,000 in. He walks home with 550K a month, and I walk home with what? With 10? So says Rav David, וכן אם יש לו עסק בשותפות עם הגוי, ולא ייתנו ביניהם. From the beginning he behaved like a goy. The Jewish boy and the Antonio boy both behaved like two like regular goyim, business. He was not religious. So they didn't make any agreement as far as Shabbat. Now comes the Jewish person, he became more religious with Hashem. Became Shomer Shabbat now. Just in diligence. Says Halacha, he is obligated to sell his shares that he's going to make of Shabbat to Antonio. But if he's going to do so, we just said it's not profitable to keep the business for the Jewish person. How can he do that to become still profitable? Says Halacha, there is a way out. How? Before the way out, we're going to finish the line. וצריך אותו שמכר עסקיו לגוי לפרסם ולהודיע דבר שמכר העסק לגוי. What if until now everybody knew that this barbershop belongs to Yakubo, Yakubo and Sons barbershop? Say it as now. בכור? barbershop מגיעים שמו barbershop קורא barbershop עושה את הכל.
В субботу поставить новый сайт.
או,
Новый сайт.
או,
Голем работает в субботу.
גולם. So באמת, you are right, that's halacha. Says halacha, what do I do whenever the place would belong to a Jew? Everybody knows belong to a Jew. It's in a Jewish neighborhood. Has big mezuzah in the front door. Has a Jewish name upstairs. Yaakov and Sons family. What do I do? Even if I'll close the shop on my end, means we'll say not close. If I will not be there on my end, and I will do the trick that the halakha allows it to work with the goy. But people passes by. What about Maritai?
ולא משבעת תשובה.
Mezuzah, yes. Jewish name, yes. Everybody knows Meir is the owner. How's Mari? What happened to Maritai?
Saturday new sign.
Oh,
Golem in the business.
very good.
That's it.
Says halacha, tzarich oto. After we're going to tell you what's the trick, a person cannot just rely on that trick. He has to put a sign and publicize it in WhatsApp groups in any possible way that we have Antonio's ownership weekends from Friday 4 p.m. till Sunday 5 a.m.
Put a discount.
The place belongs to a new owner, not under a new management. Management means that you are the owner, he's the manager. There is a new owner.
For certain days, you even could.
Yes. Now, you're not allowed to tell Antonio, Antonio, I'm going to work during the week. You're going to work on Shabbat.
But are you allowed to make any profit from the money that he?
We'll speak about the profit soon. But may your words, your statement cannot be directed to Antonio saying, Shabbat, you work. During the week, I come and we both work. When you have your Christmas, I work. You cannot make that a statement to Antonio. Say, Antonio, we're going to rent you the place. It's Friday afternoon, 4 p.m., place is yours. You want to come to work? Come. You don't want to come? Don't come. But at Sunday morning, there is a certain amount of money that we agree on is going to be as payment for your rent. Example, let's say the place makes $10,000. I mean $10,000. Okay, $10,000. Let's say Shabbat. Yeah.
5,000 rent.
So you're gonna give him a certain what you should have get from that.
Principle.
If you would be still working in the business, you and Antonio, it's 50-50, nachon? So it's 5 and 5, nachon? So you tell Antonio, $5,000, it's the rent, it's the rent. You wanna work, not work? Kori manesh. This is up to you. Antonio decides to come to work on Shabbat, that's up to him. Who is the owner on Shabbat of that business? Antonio. So like this, the Jew still made his 5,000 that he would make staying as a partner, but now he's doing it not because the guy is working for you, the Jewish person anymore.
He's renting.
Now he's already renting. Shobuj certain business, it's up to you. You want to get drunk on Friday night, not come Shabbat morning, up to you.
4 дня всего в месяце.
No. 6 дней вместе.
Окей, 6 дней.
Shabbat, the place belongs to the guy.
Окей.
Shabbat means 1 hour, 2 hours before Shabbat. And then after Shabbat comes out, that you put in the contract with the Bedin, you make all the kinyanim obligated to be done, and this place belongs right from now on to Antonio on the weekend.
It solves a big problem because a lot of barbers are afraid the goy
Going to steal.
tell the clients come on Shabbat.
Right.
Don't come Sunday, Monday to take a haircut. You know, over there everything go to his pocket. So if he pays,
That's why I told Bechor, the solution he gave, that all the money is going to go to the goy.
it will be
The goy can abuse the system.
be snake.
He can tell the clientele, hello, Sunday through Thursday, Friday, I don't want to see you after Shimon J's. I'll give you a good price
Just
if you come on Shabbat. If he makes $50 on the haircut, 25 have to go to Meir. Right? He's only going to keep 25. So you tell him, instead of $50 haircut, I'll give you $30 haircut. He keeps more profit and Meir loses. So he can trick the system like that. And the guy is not so many, no, most of them are, but not all of them. So you have to know how to save also the Jewish money in the story. Not to say, to Shomer Shabbat style, person have to find a way around. If we're going to be very strict with the beginners, they're going to, chas v'shalom, drop it. It's money. It's not a, it's a necessity for them.
It is good with a partner, but if the barber renting chairs, then he can still abuse the system.
How?
He rent a chair,
Right?
so he still have the key to come because he's paying rent for the chair.
No.
He will tell the clients.
Okay,
to
rent
come
the chair.
back
What do
for
you want?
Shabbat.
My rent is my rent.
You will rent the chair like the half of the space.
No. My rent is my rent. What do you want? I have 10 chairs. Hey, every chair pay $500. Nachon? A week, whatever the agreement is.
Okay.
So my 20K at the end of the month, I'm gonna make. What are you gonna do? It's up to you.
Rabbi, does it have to be a fixed fee that you discuss with him?
So this already the Bedin would agree per case. I gave an example of barbershop with $10,000 profit on Shabbat, but it could be different. Maybe there is few barbers over there. There's different hours over there. The details on the smaller scale, on the scale, this could be already spoke about with the Bedin. When a person does that, Rabotai, it's very, very simple to do. I'm telling you, the procedure is very simple. There is a certain fee you have to pay for the time that people work for you, and that's it. It's done, and it's all legit.
Does it expire?
I don't know about expiration. Probably, if they go tomorrow, will leave. What do you do?
No, meaning
Yeah. It's not something you have to renew. Renew license.
It's a
there's
reform.
money, there's always
It's
expiration.
a reform
Right.
the expiration.
Ken Yitzchak.
Question. Yes, there was a few going. So each of them you do this, and you can do one. Only if he has
Right. That's it. He באמת החזאי. He rents out the place from you from Friday afternoon till Motzai Shabbat. So it's not
Use the
yours.
system.
Huh?
They're
What's
gonna
the
have all the
best?
clients come on Shabbat.
No.
Yeah,
Because the amount of money you're going to make. So you see, if it goes the price higher, you are
You fluctuate.
new terms.
According to Halacha, what's the best thing to
Amend
do?
it.
Or you can make it from the beginning on percentages.
that's what I'm saying. Can it be on a percentage?
Yeah.
On a client base?
The
Yeah.
rent is a percentage.
But go and right now find out how much you really made.
Well,
How much-
usually you can estimate, right?
Can
First of all, you
you
have
put
cameras. He
camera?
knows how many clients they have
Okay.
registered. They
Can
know
you
how
put
many.
camera if you want to benefit from it?
You don't look at the camera on Shabbat, obviously.
we say camera לא אכפת לו, לא נכנס.
No, here is אכפת לו.
או, אז-
ניחלה.
אז אני
כי הוא רוצה
אבל
register
אפשר להגיד
itself.
במקום הפסד. אולי, לצורך הפסד.
A register, let's say. I mean, he can bypass the register, I guess.
בסדר. You cannot win the case 100%, but at least you
It's
win
fascinating. It's beautiful.
something out of the case.
So you're saying pay the costs principal, reduce the principal from the 10,000. So let's say okay, the rent of the whole day is 5,000, and then gas, everything another 2,000. So let's reduce 7,000 from that your 10,000, and then you keep the 3,000 going.
Who is you? The Jew or the guy? Who are you talking to?
So the Jews is not working on Shabbat. So,
Right.
So
The place is gonna
guy,
make $10,000.
Antonio made 10,000.
Good.
So you tell Antonio, let's reduce all the costs. You keep the rest,
No?
Actually, the cost. Why?
like rent, electric, everything.
No.
Overhead.
What then? What if the cost is $2,000 to run the place and he made 10,000? So he's gonna keep $8,000?
So you want to keep some of the money that he made. As
That's the whole idea.
Because you do
The whole idea is to find a way. How can the Jews still make money
Oh, so you
off
give
the
half of
Shabbat's
your
clientele? That's the whole idea
So
behind
he
it.
did the labor, but you still take some profit.
Right.
He's not gonna agree because I did the labor.
Seder, that's already. Now you have to see what's going to satisfy him.
Right.
It's not gonna be
You're
50-50.
giving more.
So I got a
Like,
50-50, exactly.
Whatever, 60, 40, 70, 30, whatever the case is. But until now, what everybody thought is whatever Bechol said. Oh, I'm saying Shabbat, Ivo, and that's it. That's how you keep your business on Shabbat. That's not true. That's a very not profitable way for the Jew. If all the business is on Shabbat, especially barbershop, for example. Now, what about pharmacies? Sometimes a pharmacy, the guy needs, he's diabetic, his blood pressure, his serious problems.
פיקוח נפש.
A person really needs it. If you're going to close the pharmacy on Shabbat, the guys are in risk.
It's easier. ספק פיקוח נפש.
פיקוח נפש.
Goyim.
going with majority is going.
Can you break the Shabbat for Goyim?
No.
Ah, Jajora, can you break Shabbat for Goy or no?
No.
Depends if it's
Says Halachah.
The Jew comes in.
The whole idea of breaking Shabbat for to save life. חלל עליו שבת אחת, כדי שישמור שבתות הרבה. What's the reason when Hillel HaZaken was freezing on the window, remember? He wanted to learn Torah so much. How did John? Hillel HaZaken was on the skylight. Almost died. Shmaya and Naftalion have to bring him in the morning, make fire to keep him alive. Imagine this. Imagine Rav Ovadia Yosef and Baba Sali has to make fire to keep somebody alive. Wow. On Shabbat. And the Gemara said, how did he do it?
כדאי הוא.
The Gemara says, it's better, investment-wise, it's better to break one Shabbat and get in return that he's going to keep many Shabbats. So the reason why you break Shabbat is because of a residual income coming back in return. Now what if it's a goy?
לא יכול להחזיר לך טובה.
We have to, because they're gonna retaliate.
Says Halacha, you're not allowed to break Shabbat for a goy. However,
That's what we do in Hatzon also. There's a
You
goal
never know how
calling
he can.
us. Last week.
however, Bechori, listen, you went to behind the mechitza there.
עזרת נשים.
We opened your barbershop, Yaakov and son, that's it. Retired. If so, the case like this. Rav Ovadia Yosef discusses in Yabia Omer that the conclusion is, says, even though Be'emet originally we were not supposed to break Shabbat for Goyim. Nowadays it's different. Why? That was before iPhone came to the world. The Tshuva was written. It says today, in one phone call, this phone call. Remember this one? Zecher Tzadik Libracha?
One button.
Remember him? I still remember him when I was a child.
בטח הצדיק, בלי תמונות.
Yeah,
בלי-
yeah. Kosher phone. He says today, in a few minutes, people on the other side of the world will be able to know what happened on the other side of the world. And then if they'll find out that the Jew did not break the Shabbat for a goy, maybe the relatives of that goy will take revenge of another Jew somewhere else in the world. So to save Jewish life in an indirect way somewhere else in the world, will break the Shabbat for the goy in this part of the world.
На русском.
Чтобы и в другой еврей жизнь рискован не было где-то, чтобы гой, эти родственники איך אומרים? התמסיל. Что мои эти евреи не сделали работу, шаббат гуфта. Я своему брату Тухтур, который там находится, тоже позвоню, когда у тебя еврей будет, кемона моя. Рамадан гуфта. Что, they're known to be very, very revenging people. It's a known thing. By Esav, it's a known thing by many, we say that they behave the goy like the goyish way, revenge.
It was a story, no?
Right, there was also a story here in America. That in Gaza, his brother gets shot for being a terrorist. Adin Arab. And right away, they come to the Jewish hospitals to save them. Terrorists. Unbelievable, these lefties over there. And they, apparently, according to the relatives of these terrorists, the Jewish doctors did not do a good job. So the relatives called to another cousin of them over here in New York, tell them, наточили его против евреев. And he also revenged against one of the Jews over here in New York. So it's exactly what Rav Yosef spoke about. That when a person does not save the Jewish life, Goyish life, on Shabbat, the Goy can chas v'shalom revenge and not save Jewish life on Ramadan, on a different time of the year, claiming it's because of religious purposes. So because that will break the Shabbat for him to the Goy today. So now, the guy says, Rabbi, if I'm not going to keep my pharmacy open, show me будет сейчас. The clientele needs their medications. Sam payechatz, I don't want. I want to keep Shabbat. Can I keep the goy over there or work or no? Huh? Do the same idea. Make a certain agreement with the goy. Now, the agreement cannot be done by yourself. Because I told you there's 9 kinyanim that you guys not aware of how to do them. So that's why this procedure, like you sell the hametz through the bedin, so do you sell the business to the goy for the weekend through the bedin.
The pharmacy also have an agreement?
Agreement.
Pikuach nefesh is not enough.
Now go prove it. Was it pikuach nefesh? Was it not? Maybe there is not a pharmacy can sell that.
In Shamayim, that's
You don't
still
even
Mechal
have to be
Shabbat.
open. There's no obligation to be open.
In Shamayim, that's still Mechal Shabbat.
Who?
If you make a whole kinyan, all the 9 kinyanim, and you make an agreement, is that still in Shamayim Mechal Shabbat?
No.
So that's it. That's kosher.
Kosher.
100%.
So, that's it.
Lechatchila.
Oh, the word lechatchila, that's where the gray area started. Is this lechatchila, this thing that I'm selling the business and renting it to the goy, all these things? So the poskim say
Beginners is
that there is such a concept in halacha called a trickery. Nazavaita ha'arama.
Loophole.
Exact loophole. Here you use the word loophole.
По-русски.
Выход с положения.
Abman,
О,
Jude Bozir, как вас?
are you allowed to make this trick?
How many words for tricky?
Are you allowed to make a trick to come out of a situation or no?
Schitrit.
Schitrit. Может так поступить или не, Ari? What do you say? Says the Gemara Masechet Betzah. A woman wants to cook from Yom Tov to the following Yom Tov. Or from Yom Tov, let's say from Yom Tov to the following Yom Tov, from Yom Tov to Yom Chol. She works on Yom Tov, cooking aloud. So she knows her husband loves bachsh for during the work. It's something you can eat cold without problem. So, no, not to heat it up. She cooks right now, bachsh on Yom Tov. Machshava is be'emet for after Yom Tov. Not allowed to cook from Yom Tov to after Yom Tov. So what she does? She says, Rabbi, I'm cooking it for now. Here, I made 500 ounces of bachsh. I ate 1 spoon. Rosie Yom Tov, I ate. You made 500 ounces of bachsh to eat 1 ounce of it? This is called a loophole that it is flashy. Everybody sees it. It's not a good loophole. This trick is obvious. That's called the arama hanikeret. There's another level of arama that it's not nikeret. It's not such a flashy one. What is that? If your wife is going to ask you, is there a way I can make the bachsh be'emet for Yom Chol? But on Yom Tov I have time. I want to make it. Says halakha, there is a way. Now, if your wife is going to do that, before the family sit down to eat. So maybe the family is going to eat. How do you know? She cooks right now. What are you cooking for? Oh, just put us lunch. So here is a arama. It's a trick, but it's not a recognizable trick. She can justify it. What's the reason she made that batch right now? So says Halakha, if you're going to make the trick before the meal is going to be served, prajot. But if it's going to be after the meal is served, you just want to say, I'm going to eat 1 spoon. Now, уже не пройдет. Now it's a obvious trick. So now that's where the gray area starts on the selling it to the goy. Right now, Bechor yesterday said, I went to Yerushalayim, I saw one Jew that his store was open on Shabbat. I asked him, you shomer Shabbat, how is your store open? What is the Jew answered him to return? In return? Oh, I gave 10 shekels to the goy. I sold the goy.
No, you have a contract with the goy.
Yeah,
Selling the business for Shabbat.
for
That's
Shabbat.
it.
But who makes the money? The goy.
Goy.
Okay?
That's expensive.
Oh, but that solution is expensive solution because the Jew is losing all the profit.
Also, the Jew is there himself. He's time there.
Now, says Halakha, even if you made everything legit, are you allowed to pass next to the store that you sold to the goy?
No.
Says Halakha, this is not allowed.
Heartbeat.
Checking his heartbeat?
Yeah, how much money?
Says Halakha, no. And this Rabotai very practical. Many people buy houses and they make construction in their houses. Before you walk in, you make construction. And a person says, Rabbi, I live in Forest Hills and I built my house in Jamaica Estates. And I was on a Brit Milah over here. My cousin had a baby boy, Baruch Hashem. I came over here. By the way, I want to go. I'm not going to say nothing, Rabbi. I'm not going to say one word. I just want to see. Did they put the windows? Did they put the roof? Kakta, mijot. Are they moving the Spanish people? Are they sleeping there all day? What are they doing? Can I just see? I'm not going to talk. I'm not going to plan. I just want to see. On Shabbat, are you allowed to pass next to your business?
No.
Next to your house?
No.
To see Zilak Achidut?
כמו שהולך לשדה ככה לראות מה לעשות ביום.
Says Halakha, not allowed to. Why? But Rabbi, let me ask you a question. Am I allowed sitting home? Think about the construction of the house. Not talk about. Think about.
Yes.
Am I allowed to think about it or no? Listen, what do you say?
I don't think so.
Says Halakha, ממצוא חפצך ודבר דבר. דיבור אסור. הרהור מותר.
Let's come with Shabbat.
Talking asur. Thinking
Allowed.
allowed. So if thinking is allowed, why can't I go and check out on the windows? I'm just thinking.
But then you
They
can
see
talk.
looking at your
Because
house.
this is obvious. When you're sitting at home eating your oslo and thinking about what type of windows I'm going to put from Italy or from Germany, nobody knows what you're thinking. Or from Home Depot. Nobody knows what are you thinking about.
How do you know?
It's a thought, but it's not obvious. But whenever you're going to make a kafot around your house, oh Shana, everybody knows. It's very obvious.
It's in a non-Jewish neighborhood.
Even then,
Even then.
because this is obvious. What are you thinking right now about?
But as Rabbi say, if it's not your job, sir, it's not your place, you're allowed to stop as you go to shul.
Right,
on the way to sleep.
right, because it's not obvious what for you.
Yeah, nice trick they do. I didn't know. Even if you have another place, and you saw they just did a nice trick, for example, the way they bring something to the roof, you didn't think about it.
Right,
Gonna save you a lot of time.
right.
So you stand over there to see how they do it, because it's not obvious.
It's not obvious. It's not yours.
You're admiring some nice incident.
It's not yours. That's the idea. So even if you rented out your business, through the bedin, all the 9 kinyanim, שג'ילב שפרייל הסדר, הכל בסדר. You still will not be allowed to pass through that area. Or if a person, let's say, has a business in his basement, first floor is a business, second floor he leaves. You will not be allowed to cross through there because it's recognizable. What are you doing? So you have to calculate it properly. Know if you buy such a house, you put such an investment, think about, okay, I'm going to work out with a goy. But what about passing through next to it? Will be a problem. Because you are obvious thinking about how to improve the business, why he came late, why he came early, why this product is not in place, etc., etc.
Well, what if your business is not physical, it's virtual, online?
Okay,
Automatic.
that's easy. There's no problem. You're not doing anything. They're going buying it, whatever it
Just
is.
leave it?
Huh?
You can leave it.
Yeah, you can leave it.
outside.
Yeah, post can talk about it. And bottom line, you can leave it. Also, vending machines. Post can talk about vending machine. If you have a line of vending machine, you're allowed to leave it open on Shabbat. You don't have to make a whole circle every Friday. Close down all the vending machines.
No,
The
but
work is being built.
they can still work. They cannot work.
Who can work?
The employees that they're doing.
Oh, that's talking about
No,
employees.
not employee. I'm saying you have a software. The
Right.
employee are using the software
Yeah,
that
no
you
problem.
made on Shabbat.
No problem. Enjoy. You're not making anybody work. They are buying it for themselves, using it for themselves. It's nothing to do with you.
Making money on it.
You have no problem. You have no prohibition to make money on Shabbat. Prohibition is to work on Shabbat. Rabbis make money on Shabbat. Baal Tokea blow shofar makes money on Rosh Hashanah. Baal Koreh makes money. Catering people, catering makes money. Brit Milah, all these things. Everybody makes money on Shabbat. There is no prohibition to make money on Shabbat. Prohibition is to work on Shabbat. Or let the goy work for you on Shabbat. But if you didn't do so, go ahead, make money.
Rabbi, question. Yes, you was Israeli business, yes. Tam Shabbat the show go over that.
We're going after the person over the Jew is.
But you live here.
No icha.
Tam was business. Shabbat. Not Shabbat.
Practically a question?
Shabbat the show. Tama, let's say, was not going about it. Until this Shabbat the show, can you benefit?
No. We go after the place the goy is going to work. If the goy wants to send something to you, we go after you. Let's say he wants to text message you or email you, whatever it is, fax, back then it used to be fax, come out by itself. So then we're going to go after the time the goy is going to do it. But if you are working, if he is working, we have to see where is he working. In what domain? In Israel, in here, where is he working?
Now, general about it.
No.
Okay.
But that's a side point. I don't want to lose the point I want to share with you. Is if a person made all this kinyanim akol beseder, what happens whenever the sign is still Jewish? The mezuzah is there. What is he doing there? Says Rav David, in this case, you have to publicize it. צריך אותו שמכר עסקיו לגוי לפרסם ולהודיע הדבר שמכר העסק לגוי כדי שלא יחשדו בו שעסקיו עובדים בשבת. So people should not suspect, Meir, I know Yakubov, they shomer Shabbat, how their business is open on Shabbat? Mezuzah, Kalpok, how is it? Says Halacha. Huh?
Take down the mezuzah.
Don't have to take down the mezuzah. That's the chiddush.
Does it have to be up there even at all?
You're allowed to keep it up. Yeah, why not?
You need it?
You need it for Shabbat, for regular days. It's yours.
No. For,
On Motzei Shabbat, in weekends, it's not yours.
Does a business require mezuzah?
It's machloket. Bottom line, we say you put mezuzah. If you want to say bracha, you have them to rely on.
Even when no one's living there.
Yeah, because the majority of today people are more time in their business than they are in their house. So that even if they don't sleep there, still required mezuzah. Machloket, should you say bracha or no? Rabbi Yitzchak Yosef said, if you want to say bracha, you have them to rely on.
The Ezra should go in also not the pastized?
Yeah, what? Publicize that it's owned by this? No. If there is no Barit Ayin, no Jews, religious Jews around, there's no problem. But if there is one religious Jew, two religious Jews already, people can suspect you. You have a problem. You have to put that sign, publicize in the WhatsApp groups or whatever other ways that this business belongs on the weekends to the goy.
Non-religious Jews, it's not a problem?
Yeah, because now you suspect nothing. They are religious, unless it's not religious that they know.
Yeah,
Right.
I know that you...
Yeah, so then you'll have to put a sign. It's not so hard. וגם ייזהר ביותר שלא ייתן לו דין ודברים עם הגוי על הפעלת עסקים בשבת. Also you have to make sure not to tell the goy, come to work on Shabbat. This you're not allowed to tell him. Say, goy, this is your place. You do whatever you want. וגם ייזהר שלא יאמר לגוי שיעבוד בשבת. וקל וחומר שיזהר לא ללכת למקום שנמצאים בו עסקים כדי לבדוק ולפקח על עסקיו בשבת, או כדי שלא יגנוב הגוי מהעסק בשבת. So you're not allowed to go and see. Tell the goy, я вижу там, ты чё, сколько там, деньги. I see, I keep my eyes open on you. This, you cannot stay over there. You can put a camera there before Shabbat, and the camera is going to record. That's a different story. The goy is recording it, moving it, the camera records. No problem. But you're going to go and stand and watch if the goy is pocketing cash to his pocket or not. This halacha will not be allowed to tell you because you are standing there. It's obvious. What are you doing there? Any questions? Baruch Adonai le'olam. Amen ve'amen. Rabbi Hanania. פלג השעה אומר רצה הקדוש ברוך הוא לזכות את ישראל. לכך הרבה להם תורה מצוות. Tomorrow we're going to go back to בשר ודם. אמר אדוני חפש.
סיימנו, לא? סיימנו.
יגדיל תורה וידיר קדיש על ישראל. יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה